I've always been an avid recycler. Paper here, plastic here, e-waste, batteries, none of it goes in the trash. But this year, I realized that we cannot recycle our way out of the climate crisis because all of the stuff we buy leaves a carbon footprint long before we throw it in the landfill. This is Gideon Foreman. He's a climate change and transportation policy analyst at the David Suzuki Foundation.
Let's say you want new furniture in your home. From cutting down the trees to make the new chairs, to shipping them to us, to getting rid of the old chairs. From start to finish, there are very significant environmental impacts.
In other words, cutting down emissions means buying less stuff. Do I really need bubble bath? Do I really need to dye my hair? The truth is, it feels surprisingly easy to give up a lot of this stuff. But there are some desires that are harder to let go of. And for me, right now, it's my kitchen. I hate it. I want a new countertop and backsplash. And I know that that makes no logical sense. But how do we get so attached to all this stuff?
We are embedded in an economy and a culture that has worked very, very hard to make us into unthinking consumers for about a century and a bit.
That's Karen Higgs. She's the author of the book Collision Course: Endless Growth on a Finite Planet. She says it all started around the turn of the last century. Small businesses gave way to large corporations. Small factories gave way to mass production. Suddenly, companies were able to make more stuff than we really needed. So they solved that problem by convincing us we needed more stuff. And they relied on psychology.
A chap called Bernays, what his theory was that people really desire to be as good as and then better than the people next door and then the people up the street and then the people over the hill, etc. And so by placing material goods as the measure of your value, people were lured into really excessive consumption.
I get it. I'm being manipulated by consumer culture. And yet I'm bothered by how badly I still want something that I know I don't need. So I turned to the one person I was sure could talk me out of buying something. Callie Lassin, the founder of the iconic anti-consumer publication Adbusters. But the conversation didn't exactly go the way I thought it would.
I think there are bigger fish to fry is the position.
Wait, was the godfather of anti-consumerism telling me it doesn't matter how much I consume?
On some level, yeah. I look at the current situation and I'm even angry. Our politicians go to the IPCC meetings and make all kinds of commitments and then they come home and do nothing. And we, the people, we run around, making all kinds of little lifestyle changes that are not going to add up to a hill of beans in the long run.
Callie says Adbusters is calling for a global revolution. They're demanding what they call a true cost global marketplace, where the price we pay for products reflects their actual cost to the environment. I get what Callie's saying. I know that one person forgoing a kitchen counter is not going to save the world from climate change. But if I'm being honest, this isn't only about fighting climate change. It's also about fighting feelings of helplessness. It's about trying to take some kind of control in a terrible situation that I feel I have no control over. So I keep looking for someone who can talk me out of that kitchen reno. And I go back to Karen Higgs and her comments about how corporations learn to manipulate us.
What they were really trying to do was to make sure that we experienced our pleasures as only available if we had the right stuff. So we have to somehow re-engage with our humanity.
Tonight, instead of complaining about my kitchen, I'm using it to cook a meal with my partner. For CBC Radio, I'm Heather Kitching.